one of the things I love doing most is doing ritual. And doing ritual with a fellow priestess like Raven is just the best of the best. One of the things that I think is so important about ritual, our lives are so full. They are so busy. We've got keeping up with the house. We have house guests, which I have this weekend. We have work. We have our hobbies. We have our relationships with our spouses and our friends. And sometimes there just aren't enough hours in the day.
That's for sure.
And taking that little bit of time each day for ritual, and then once at every moon and at the solstices, equinoxes, and the cross quarter days, to take that little space out of time and reconnect. So I think that's one of the things that ritual does for me, is reconnects me to the divine, because I get separated from the divine. I kind of forget about it, even though that seems impossible, but it.
I do too.
And ritual grounds me down and connects me upward.
It's like when we do yoga and we ground from the waist down, like the roots of the tree, so that our spines can lift up. Mm-hmm. So for me, ritual is grounding into the earth, like you say, so you can then lift up. Mm-hmm. Because usually during the day, I'm somewhere squished up between like a accordion or something. And so we need to be able to find where we are again. Ritual to me it's a way to give back for what I've learned and what I've been given. It's an honoring of the presences that we work with, whether they're gods or goddesses or spirit guides or totems or just working with the divine itself. Mm-hmm. It stops me and says, hey, where do you think all this is coming from? You have to say thank you. You have to give back. And that is probably the most important part of ritual for me. Mm-hmm. And I do most of my ritual alone. And a lot of it is just me saying thank you. Mm-hmm. And when you start saying thank you, there's so much. And we forget. We're so busy, like you say.
Right. And I find too that, like, during the day, during the week, the challenges of life, I find myself getting smaller and constricted. Mm-hmm. I find my shell getting a little harder. I am not expansive. I am tight and ready for whatever happens. Right, exactly. Yeah. And ritual just breaks all of that open and allows me to be one with the all, and one with everything. And if I don't spend my time doing that in the morning, then I just get smaller and smaller during the day. And if I make that moment in the morning to connect, to give my thanks, I chant. I usually chant Sanskrit chants and fill my lungs with air, breathe out these beautiful words, and feel myself, like the spine straightens and connects between above and below and open.
Well, we're the channel for the above and the below. We are at the heart of the world. We are the center of the world, wherever we are. And when that is shut down, how is spirit supposed to do anything?
I think we forget that. I think we forget what important players we are in this.
These are hands of the divine, the mouth, the words. And I know I have a full-time job, and I find myself getting so stressed out and getting snippy. And I think, what kind of a priestess are you that you just, rah, 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 rah. So I forget. And when I hold that place of ritual more carefully, then it's easier for me to stop and take a breath and keep my mouth shut and observe what's happening before I jump in and have to try to control it.
Right, or be able to, I was in a situation the other day where I just noticed myself, observed myself just being not my best self. I was kind of belligerent about some things. I was in an odd doctor's office. I was belligerent about some things, and I didn't want to do it. I was upset. They were asking me the same question they ask me every time, and isn't it on the sheet? And I thought, this woman in front of me, this is her job, and why can't I just smile? Why can't I just open? Why can't I just let it be? And she was being so nice to me. And it was that moment that was like, you know, yeah, you can be nice to her too. And I think when I am not away from ritual for too long, it makes it harder to get back to that place
It does.
of
And,
surrender,
yeah.
maybe, or
Awareness.
yeah, right.
And the more we do ritual, the more our lives are the ritual.
Yeah.
So the less separated we are,
Right.
and the more connected we are, then the more what we do each day really does become more of a ritual. And of course, we can do bad ritual.
Yeah.
Bad ritual.
Or ineffective is probably
Ineffective, yes.
Ritual is probably
Yes.
the
But
best way.
if we're connected, then we're making that time to be kind to someone,
Right.
To wait and listen to what they have to say, to be helpful, to put a little beauty in our lives,
Right.
And slow down and be
Right.
more conscious of what we're doing. All of that is what ritual brings. Yeah. And then to be able to do it with your friends
It's the best.
is the very best.
And be able to lead and co-create ritual
Right.
together
Right.
is absolutely the best.
Yeah.
So, well, we are getting ready for ritual together tonight,
Mm-hmm.
and we hope that you as well are planning a ritual at least sometime in the morning or sometime in the future. And
Make it simple, make it consistent.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay.
So goodbye, dear sister priestesses.
Bye.
We'll see you again.